Well, good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another morning. Spring morning, it seems, in most of the ways. Yeah. Thank you for being here. So let's start another day of practice with Catherine McGee. We are exploring the theme of our body, Buddha's body. It's quite interesting to explore by the gentle hand of Catherine McGee this week. So welcome to you all. Is anyone coming new, feel especially welcome. This is our new platform, our live streaming platform. So if you're still not very familiar with it, I hope you hadn't had very much trouble to get in. Anyway, we'll be, polishing that with time. We'll be here for roughly an hour. As usual, Catherine will lead us through practice, talk, and then there will be some time for Q&A at the end. The Q&A here works in a different mode than it used to work with Crowdcast. So everything goes into the chat box. So if you have questions, please type the question in capital letters prior to writing your question so we can clearly see that you have a question. You can also make your comments. Everything is welcome. Or you can raise your little hand. I think it's here somewhere. It might be here somewhere, down bottom of the screen. And if you raise your hand, it means you would like to come on screen, which we would just appreciate if you do. And I can invite you, and it works fairly well in this system. So hopefully it will. And that's it. We speak a little about. I'm not going to speak about Sangha Life Connect because we are on Sangha Life Connect. Please explore this platform because there's a lot of going on with it. Not only these sessions, but a lot of things go into this platform. I'll just speak about Dana because Dana is still the pillar of all this work. That's the only thing we have as an income to keep on doing this work. So we haven't still found a way to put a Dana button in this platform. So you'll have to just use the link that I've posted upwards. I would post it at the end again, and just let your generosity flow the way it flows. Just go into the link, whether it's large or small, it's all welcome. And if there's no way you can donate anything, you are donating your experience, your time, your presence, and sharing with others. So that's the main thing. That's what we're here for. Okay, enough. So enjoy the session. I'm going to withdraw myself and leave the platform to Catherine. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Just going to move my camera so you can see Kuan Yin if you would like to behind me. Thank you, George, for the introduction. So welcome. Let's practice together. And I want to give you a traditional welcome, and let this be a welcome for everything that you bring here this morning, your heart, whatever has been in your sleep or your days or our world that is in your heart at the moment, in your mind, and whatever condition of body you find yourself with. So the traditional welcome I remember from a monk who I enjoyed, and he would say at the beginning of a Dharma session, welcome my brothers and sisters. So I will add, welcome my brothers and sisters and siblings in birth, in aging, in sickness, and in death. welcome. Let's take refuge together through practice, through sincere contemplation. So your body, your body, Buddha's body, we can, as human embodied beings, I know, sometimes be very ambivalent about embodied world. We might like it when it's fun. It can also be really, really difficult with illnesses, pains, just the sensitivity of this creature, this instrument that we are. So your body, Buddha's body, the intention is for us to come with a view of the body, that this body, this fathom-long body, as the Buddha would refer to this fathom-long body can be and is the seat of the awakening of a Buddha. So we want to open that view as we come to practice. And that counters the view that some of us moderns have of the body as something to do my bidding. That my mind has my ideas and things I want to achieve or avoid, and my body is the servant of that. And we want to loosen that view for the pain and the disrespect in it, but also to open the view that this could be seen and sensed as something intelligent, as the place of awakening, as the place to cultivate steadying of attention as our basis for awakening. So we'll get to awakening. It's in the little write-up I wrote up for this week. I said, your body, Buddha's body. I'm going to read what I wrote. Your body is a meeting place, right? So if you consider that right now, it's a meeting place of our heart, of our mind, and of our world, right? It's a meeting place. We're at that intersection. Whether we like that or not, we are at this crossroads, this of our innermost, and the outermost. And we want to learn how to sit into that meeting place. There's actually something very natural in it. There's actually something very natural that the Buddha, when he was reflecting and had his memory of being a little boy under the tree, I think there was some wedding going on, and he took some rest under the tree, and something he remembered about the gathering and the steadying of his mind that was really easy, that was natural, that was light, that was beautiful, that was harmonized, that was steady, that was nourishing, but it was also natural. So in our journey of awakening, let us remember the kind of foundation for that is the kind of steadying of our presence, the steadying of the mind with the heart, with the body, that we're, in a way, the heart and the mind and the body get to sing together. They're in harmony. They're all of a piece. Right? There's a sense of possibility of unifying this whole arena in a way that is nourished, steadying, awake. And this then can be beautiful in itself, but also the platform for our insight to really take root in a way that actually makes a difference in our embodied existence. We come in and through and with bodies as humans. So a little bit about our practice this morning. The word, as many of you will know in the tradition, is samatha. Samatha practice is one, it's not the whole of the path at all, but it's one important foundation. And often you'll hear the two words samatha and vipassana. The foundation, the steadying, the harmonizing, the gathering, and the vipassana, the insight, the seeing deeply into the nature of the way the mind and the world co-arise. So samatha practice, there's a lot to say about that, but I won't. And many of you will know a lot, but to say that samatha practice is supported by a number of factors, and one is the capacity to stay. steadying, deepening happens when we can stay with something. Number one. And the other one, I'll bring the other factor, is that the way we stay has a light touch, has something playful. And if playful is too much of a word, then consider the word light touch. There's something kind of easy in it. So at least for me, and I don't know about you, but when I think of those steady, staying, kind of applying myself, and I think of light touch in my history, they occupied different places. And sometimes in meditation history, I would see, the sincere attempt to apply my attention would end up things becoming a little tighter, not light at all, not conducive to happiness, conducive to kind of tightening or hardening or sort of putting pressure on myself, which can then lead to kind of anxiety. And the light touch I would sometimes dismiss as, I love the light touch, but I would sometimes think, oh, that doesn't apply in the meditative world. It's too playful. This is a serious business, right? So just seeding those ideas today of the staying, really staying, and the light touch. So our practice that I introduced yesterday, the approach, the engaging, and the waiting. The approach is in the view. What is the view of the body that we're carrying to the meditation this morning? And what if we carry the view, not that this body is something to do my bidding, to fulfill my aims and objectives, but is an intelligent partner and is the seat for the awakening of the Buddha. The engagement, the question. So we're going to stay a little bit longer with this asking the question of the body. How would you like to breathe right now? Asking that question beautifully, lightly, interestedly, really, really delicate, like it's a really delicate touch. I don't want to put pressure on the body through the question. And what a practice will reveal is the ways we put too much pressure on or not enough, where we kind of space out or kind of, right, the sort of, maybe the pain goes away, but we kind of space out a little bit and we lose the clarity or we lose the presencing. Right, there's our kind of two extremes, like too much pressure on, or we've disappeared so far out that we lose the body, actually. Now, in meditation, of course, there is a place for the widening of attention more towards the open awareness practice, right? And we can discriminate those in the questions, if you like. But the practice I'm offering today is where we're staying close enough to the body, but not so much that we put pressure on through the question. Right? And if you notice as you ask the question that there's pressure, there's tightening, it's not conducive to the heart's resting, then maybe widen a little bit and imagine the question is being asked from a much wider vantage point. Right? And use your imagination for that. And the third part then is the waiting for the response of the body. So I ask the question, how would you like to breathe right now? And I wait. And I wait for the response because the body will respond. The body will breathe in again. But we let her do it. We let him, them do it in their own rhythm. Like we're really genuinely interested. How would you like to breathe if I'm not putting you under pressure to be my meditative object? And if I'm not so disinterested, I ignore you. How would you like to breathe? I want to know. Please work with me today. Be my partner today. May I treat you as an intelligent ally. So this is what we'll practice. And in that moment of waiting, can we find the ways to stay? Can we find the ways to stay? And that may be sensing your weight in the chair, your kind of physical earth element of the weight and the gravity of this human instrument. It may be that you're able to stay in asking the question, and it's really like a fraction of a second, right? Or you may be able to stay through the sustaining of attention with the sense of the whole body, the atmosphere, the presence and feel of the body. And you may not stay, you may disappear, and that's fine. You can come back and ask the question again. So this practice is something we can try out this week, and I'll develop it over the days, that can support samatha, the samatha aspect of the practice. The steadying happens through staying and a light touch. There we will find ways, and that's the second part of my write-up for this week, each morning with steadying and awakening in mind. We will practice ways of being with the body that, what was the word I used? I can't remember. Maybe you can remember. Each morning we will explore ways of being with the body that open more refuge, kindness, and freedom. So this is one way of being attentive to the body, that if we practice, we will see the aspects of wise effort, of not coming too tight and not being too loose. We'll see the path can unfold there for us. And if this is a newer approach for you, asking in this way, we can try it out for the week. This would be a way to see a practice sincerely and see what is the effect of this way of paying attention, of this way of conceiving of the body, of approaching the body, of waiting for the body. Yeah. So wisdom, which we're cultivating in the Dhamma, wisdom is born through understanding what is the effect of this way of paying attention, whatever this way is. And paying attention there's a lot to it. I'll leave it there. But wisdom is knowing what is the effect of the way we are coming into this moment of perception, the view, the approach, the engaging. Yeah. What is the effect here and now with the body, with how I come into the world? So let's pare this down now, let it be simple for us. I'll guide us into the practice and see if there's anything else to offer you before we begin here. Yeah, I think this waiting for the body, even though it's really short, is very interesting to see what would it take to stay. And what the image that came to my mind, I'm not sure how precise an image is, but see if this is helpful, of when you ask something of someone that you want a response. Let's say you ask someone to dance. It's a long time since I've done that, I think, or it's differently configured now. But you know that I remember that a long time, asking someone to dance, or waiting to be asked to dance, or whatever it would be. Asking someone to dance sounds very old-fashioned, doesn't it? I was with my niece's daughter the other day. She goes, "That doesn't happen anymore." Asking someone to dance, and you want to dance with them, you want them to respond, but you have to wait for that moment to see, will they stand up and join me? How will they stand up and join me? Maybe they don't stand up and join me, right? You're in relationship, and that's a kind of respectful relationship, will be that I can come forward with my question, but I don't put pressure on. And I don't collapse and just don't ask the question, oh, it's never going to happen, right? That's the other part of the binary. I just collapse. I lose my capacity to feel like a participant in this practice, in this world. Okay, let's do it. So, dear Sangha, dear fellow human beings, brothers, sisters, siblings, my brothers and sisters and siblings in birth, in aging, in sickness and in death. Please take your seat of meditation, inviting your body to take a seat of dignity. Treating them viewing him, her, them with respect. And you might like to offer a very light question or a very light request, like dancing. Please work with me today. Please dance with me today. And every time you offer a phrase, a question to the body, sensing the response may be very, very subtle. And the way the body responds is in sensation, in breath, in presence, felt presence and sense. So upright and gentle. Feeling the weight of your backside on the seat, letting the thighs spread out from the inside, like really giving themselves back to the ground. Like all that flesh of your upper legs could just spread out around the bone and to the knee, that the presence there could spread and down to your feet, that the attention in your feet could spread and soften around the bones of the toes. And asking your feet, is there any way you would like to be positioned right now? Just find the place for your feet. Maybe the toes need a stretch. Maybe there's a way you always put your legs in a certain way for meditation, but just ask respectfully for a moment. And coming to the upper body and the head and the neck. Just seeing if the head would like to move. Don't do the moving. You can ask the head, how would you like to? Do you need anything, my love? And wait. Do you need anything, my love? And maybe you find your head wants to stretch a little bit. Maybe something feels really good to kind of open up the neck or the jaw or even the eyes. And maybe that lets a little breath, more breath in. And letting the arms find a posture. their posture of dignity and of refuge. And when it's the moment to ask, very lightly, and even finding the moment to begin. How would you like to breathe right now? And you might find that one ask of the question is good for 3 or 4 or 5 breaths. The question is kind of echoing through the whole heart and mind and body. You don't need to keep pressing it. Find the pace, a beautiful approach that is steady and really, really light. And we can be as interested in the asking, how we ask, as we might be in the breath, in the body. We might see them as a pair, as a partnership. How would this living, breathing, intelligent creature that we are, how would they like to breathe right now when we're not putting pressure onto them? And yet we're interested to know this fathom long body, this This fathom-long body, as the Buddha said, with its intellect and perception, it is right here that we can know the origin of the cosmos, the cessation of the cosmos, and the path of practice leading to the cessation. Thank you for practicing together. Just before I open up to questions, I was meant to read you this the question that I didn't answer yesterday. Don't know if you're here, Mariavi. Thanks for your question. But it's also a comment, so it tells their practice through the session. They said it was a very gentle way of getting into the meditation. I noticed how the body initially didn't know and felt a bit intimidated by the question. But as time passed with the questions, it really settled. I started saying, "You lead the way, I'll follow." When asking from a narrow point of view, at times I noticed the breath would want to please me, which has this kind of anxious quality, and it became a bit uncomfortable. But as it settled, it calmed down, widening the beam. It was so calming. Didn't want to come out of this. Thank you. Oh, hi, Mariavi. Thank you. It's more a comment, isn't there? It's like it resolved itself through your practice, it sounds like. So tell me if there's a question, but thank you for that. It's very helpful. Please, so if you have a question, write question, and then we'll be able to track them through the chat. And if you're up for coming on and being live, you can raise your hand. It'd be lovely to meet somebody in person, as well as George, which is very nice, in the morning. So yeah, do write a question in the chat, raise your hand. Or comment, like how was it? Is anything different from yesterday to today? If you're new to today, is it clear to you? So I'm hoping I'm seeing the right chat box. The last comment I have is from Mariavi, is that right? Yeah. Yes, so maybe the questions are long questions and they're taking a while to write. They're really welcome. I'm also really interested to hear if it maybe not formed as a question yet, but just how was that for you? Thanks, Sue. I initially felt resistance and skepticism towards the question. How do you suggest working with this? Great. I'm curious how you worked with it, Sue. I would just say, yeah, welcome resistance and skepticism. Absolutely. Probably don't need to analyze it too much. It's resistance is normal. Skepticism will have that sort of doubt quality. Hang on there. Hearing looks like someone's coming on. George, can you mute someone?
Yes, Chris, could you please just mute your microphone for a while?
We're getting some feedback, Chris, on the front here. Oh, you can't mute her indirectly.
No.
Okay, let's do it this way then. Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. So the skepticism, I think, is kind of really welcome. It's like it's a strange thing to do from many perspectives, to ask your body how they would like to breathe, or even to speak to your body at all. It's not from other perspectives, but if it's strange, like welcome the doubt. It's like, yeah, it's a hindrance. Fine. They're really, really welcome. Comments. Great. Yeah, thanks, Maddie. Actually, that's really helpful. Yesterday, I said you could bring that idea of asking beautiful questions to the body during the day, and Maddie did a walking meditation yesterday. And as they stood, I felt I was listening deeper and had a deeper connection. So it's not that this question is the only question. It's really there's an art in asking questions that actually allow things to move in a direction that conduces to samatha in this case. Yeah. Just before I call you on, Chris, let's get Joss's question. Was having a beautiful, spacious time dancing with the breath, but then wondering about the cessation of the cosmos comments, so, as it jumped in and sent me into a different space. Yeah, thanks, Josh. I was wondering about whether to say that during the sit. I'd meant to say it earlier, and so I'll just say that quote from the Buddha is from the Rohitasa Sutta. It's a very famous one. And sometimes it gets translated as through this fathom-long body with its intellect and perception, you can understand the origin of suffering and the ending of suffering. What is the direct translation? And the version I have here, the Buddha is making an analogy between understanding the origination of the cosmos, not talking about the Big Bang, although actually mystically it's very interesting, but the origination right here and now of the way the self, other, and world kind of come into being, understanding the origin of that and understanding the end of that. And that's the origination of the cosmos, of self, other, world. Like we're participating in that moment to moment. It's a very profound teaching, but so the translation I have has that detail. So I'll give it to you now. I tell you, there is no making an end to suffering and stress without reaching the end of the cosmos. Yet it is just within this fathom-long body, with its perception and intellect, that I declare that there is the cosmos, like this is the cosmos, there is the cosmos, the origination of the cosmos, the cessation of the cosmos, and the path of practice leading to the cessation. So kind of cosmos and suffering are made synonymous there. Hope that's helpful. Chris, come on. Thank you for putting your hand up.
Can you hear me?
I can. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Catherine. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
Yeah, I can ask the question, and
Please.
my body can say, yes, I'd like to do that. But then there is this third partner called the mind that keeps wanting to jump in. And throughout that last meditation, I was realizing how much that mind was wanting to be part of this partnership and making it a threesome.
Definitely.
Please.
Yes.
Where do we go with that? And maybe what you're saying from the last question in part is answering that, because it is the intellect. Where do I go with that, please,
Yes.
Catherine? Or
thank you. So please say, thank you for bringing that, Chris. Please say to your bright mind or your agitated mind, whichever form they're taking in the morning, it's like, yes, work with me, right? I mean, we're playing here. It's like, work with me. How about we can ask this question together? It's like, would you be interested to ask this question together with the body, so that the mind can really be very a partner? Absolutely. That's part of the intention of having the question, so that the conceiving mind has it's not the only intention, actually. It's not just to give it a task, like you might give the kid some keys to play with so that it sort of sits down, it's not only to do that, but it's to actually bring that faculty in, because we're invariably coming anyway with a whole way of looking that will include our mind, actually, even when it's very quiet. So say yes, please. Ask the question with me.
Yeah. but it's how to stop it taking over and pushing the body bit out. You know, will you sit with me? Will you be quiet with me? Will you just be part of this?
So there we go. There's this, like, give the kid the keys to please be quiet. Will you just sit with me? Can you feel the way of asking? It's like, will you just sit with me? It's got a little bit of, please just toe the line here. Now, what you could do, you know, when we say to something, please just toe the line, it's like a little bit sort of, you know, it's going to react. Another way you could think of it is to say, oh, how would you like to participate in the meditation?
Right.
To the
Okay.
mind.
Cooperatively then.
And if it all gets very, very heady, then you might just say to the mind, come rest with me. But it's a little bit different than, you know, can feel the difference in tone between toe the line, like get on board, and actually, oh, thank you. Come sit, let's sit together under the Bodhi tree.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Jonathan, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Oh.
So bear with me, people. I think something happened here with Catherine, but I think I'll try to bring her on again.
Great. I think
Yeah,
what happened there, but
you're
thank you. Thank you, George. Yeah, Jonathan, I really wanted to answer your question. Will you come back on? I saw
Yes,
you.
I saw you too, but yeah, so my question is, I mean, it's very beautiful. I've never come across asking my body what it needs in this way or how to participate today, but yeah, I mean, I have certain challenges, and it's like I've got what you said to Chris was helpful, i.e., don't not asking my body just to cooperate. I don't think I'm doing that. Maybe there might be an undertone. Maybe it's not about asking my body to cooperate. It's just I'm just so tired of this. I don't know what to do with him. This little baby that's in my chest and so the plexus area is so upset.
Yeah.
And I let's just say he wasn't exactly comforted when I was a baby. He was treated appallingly, but I don't know what to do in 2023. Yeah.
Got it. I'm with you, Jonathan. Got it right there. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, 100%. Thank you,
great. So I can see, does it looks to me like your hand is on your chest? Is that right? Are you?
It's kind of one hand's holding my phone. If I had both hands, then there'd be one hand on my chest, one hand on my solar plexus. But currently, I've just got one hand on my solar plexus to,
Okay, very good. Very good. So having shared that with us, and there's still 105 of us still on the call, who will end in a moment, but I don't want to jump off with this question. Just sit with them that feels like the agitated, dysregulated, unhappy, distressed,
terrified.
Terrified. Okay, got it. Terrified. Heart. And with the hand on the chest and the solar plexus, can you feel your bum on the seat right now?
Yes, I can.
Great. And we can tell that distressed, agitated, terrified parts, like, we've got you. We've got you, my love. Right? And we've got you. And feel the bum on the seat.
Yeah.
And then toggle back.
He wants to cry. He wants to cry.
Yeah, of course. So here's the thing. Can you let some of the tears come while giving them, so the way to let the tears come is giving them another anchor as well. right? They are
It's,
welcome to cry.
yes.
Like we can cry once we're held, right?
He's
You
scared
know,
to cry because he wasn't allowed. The memory is,
yeah,
I think, he wasn't allowed to cry
yeah.
because he'd be punished if he cried in the past. It's quite interesting information. This is new information for me, Catherine, today.
Okay.
So
Okay,
yeah,
very good. So does that feel helpful that it's coming in this way?
I think it's. You said we've got you. I've got you. Catherine can be trusted because I think I've been with you before in the meditation in the past. But yeah, that's why I felt comfortable and put my hand up today. But
That's
I
great.
think he was scared that you'd tell him off or something.
Yeah, great. So beautiful. So as there was no telling off, and you and I both use the language, we've got you. And I want to give you back something, George. Maybe I can be trusted, but you could be trusted to also, it's not that I can't be, but you could also be trusted to, you had enough staying to ask the question, actually to come on live. That actually is a lot of samatha. That's a lot of steadiness. That's a
Okay.
lot of steadiness that dysregulated, terrified part recognizes. Yeah. And there may be something, in our connection and the Sangha and Sangha life,
Yes.
right? You could stand there's that toggling now between where the tears can start to come with your bum on the seat, with us around you. It's like, yeah. I remember, I think it was Stephen Levine, someone saying like practice hasn't begun till the tears start to come.
Oh, I've not heard that one before.
Yeah, that was him. I don't know if it's absolutely universal, but
Sure, sure,
that
sure.
was it was a beautiful thing that he said. Yeah, yeah. So just staying with that a moment, George. And if anyone needs to go, I'll pick up the questions from George and pick them up tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for your practice. Jonathan, stay on for a sec.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll bring this piece to an end, Jonathan, but just
Yes.
sensing the hand on the heart and that phrase, "We've got you."
We've got you.
For those really agitated, terrified parts.
It says he says he's not ready to cry, but thank you.
Yeah, great. Yeah, beautiful. So you can see the way you're talking. It's like no pressure, no
No
pressure.
Okay.
Gorgeous. And see the comments in the chat, Jonathan. There's a few.
Oh, okay. I haven't. I'll look at that after the
Yeah.
session. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a
Thank
lot
you
for
very
coming in,
much.
Jonathan. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be back later in the week. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, George. And really look forward to being with you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye-bye.